There's a soil secret so powerful that farmers once called it liquid gold. It doubled harvests, restored lifeless fields, and gave struggling families the kind of yields they thought were impossible. Yet instead of being celebrated, this practice was outlawed. Not because it failed, but because it worked too well. For over a century it was dismissed as dangerous and outdated, swept aside to make way for industrial fertilizers. But here's the surprising twist. When handled safely with modern knowledge, this banned method still outperforms compost in speed, strength and results. And today, more gardeners are rediscovering its potential. In the 1800s, farmers across Europe and America faced an urgent problem. Populations were exploding, farmland was wearing out, and many families were desperate for reliable food harvests. Composting helped, but it was slow. Manure worked, but it couldn't keep up with demand. That's when they turned to something both shocking and effective: human waste, known at the time as night soil. The concept wasn't new. Across Asia, particularly in China and Japan, farmers had been safely recycling human waste for centuries. Instead of discarding it, they treated it, aged it, and returned it to the soil. This closed-loop system kept farmland fertile for thousands of years without the need for chemical fertilizers. In fact, human waste was so valuable in some places that households sold it to merchants who delivered it straight to farms. Nothing was wasted. When European and American farmers tried the same approach, the results were astonishing. Crops fed with treated human waste grew faster, produced fuller heads of grain, and yielded more vegetables than compost-fed fields. For families teetering on the edge of hunger, this wasn't just fertilizer, it was survival. So why did something so effective disappear? The answer lies in the chaos of growing cities. By the mid-1800s, urban centres like London and New York were bursting at the seams. Waste disposal was poorly managed, and untreated sewage contaminated rivers and wells. Outbreaks of cholera, typhoid and dysentery killed tens of thousands. Understandably, public opinion turned against the use of human waste in farming. At the same time, chemical fertilizers arrived on the scene. First came Chilean nitrate deposits, and then synthetic nitrogen through the Haber-Bosch process. These new products were clean, easy to package, and, honestly, highly profitable for industrial companies. Marketers painted traditional waste-based farming as backward, dangerous, and unsanitary. By the early 20th century, night soil had been almost entirely abandoned in the West, not because it didn't work, but because the world was being steered toward industrial agriculture. Even though it was banned, farmers and scientists knew exactly why this method worked. Human urine in particular is incredibly rich in nitrogen, along with phosphorus and potassium, three of the core nutrients plants need to thrive. What makes it remarkable is how quickly those nutrients are available. Unlike compost, which takes months to mature and releases nutrients slowly, diluted urine delivers food to plants almost instantly. To give you exact numbers, fresh human urine contains about the same nitrogen levels as many commercial fertilizers sold in garden centers today. When mixed properly with water, it becomes a safe, fast-acting fertilizer that plants can absorb right away. For crops that demand heavy feeding, such as corn, tomatoes and cabbage, this boost can make a dramatic difference in growth and yield. That doesn't mean compost loses its value. Compost improves soil structure, helps retain water and builds long-term fertility. But when you need immediate results, greener leaves, faster growth, stronger harvests, diluted urine can do what compost alone cannot. The most powerful approach is combining both, balancing compost's long-term benefits with urine's rapid nutrient release. Of course, no one is suggesting we go back to hauling raw buckets of waste like the farmers of the 1800s. Modern science gives us safer, smarter ways to use the same principles. The simplest and most effective method is the use of diluted urine. Here's the safe formula. Mix 1 part fresh urine with 10 parts water. For example, if you collect 1 cup or 250 millilitres of urine, add it to 10 cups or 2.5 litres of water. This creates a balanced solution that delivers nitrogen without burning delicate roots. For seedlings or potted plants, go gentler at 1 part urine to 20 parts water. That's 1 cup or 250 millilitres. Urine mixed with 20 cups or 5 litres water. Always pour the mixture onto the soil, never the leaves, and rotate where you apply it so nutrients don't build up too heavily in one spot. The best time to use it is in the early morning or evening when cooler conditions prevent evaporation and give plants time to absorb the nutrients. So think of compost as your garden's steady diet and, well, diluted urine as the vitamin boost. Compost provides structure, microbial life, and, long-term fertility. Urine delivers immediate nitrogen that really fuels leafy growth. When combined, they create a 1-2 punch for your garden. For example, you can pour diluted urine over mulch made from straw or dried leaves. The carbon from the mulch captures the nitrogen, preventing it from washing away and keeping it available to plants longer. Gardeners who use both methods together often see greener plants, stronger growth and harvests that come sooner and, honestly, heavier than with compost alone. It's a simple, natural balance that mimics the cycles of nature, where nothing is wasted and everything feeds back into the soil. The return of this banned soil trick isn't just about growing bigger vegetables. It's about rethinking how we garden in a world that's increasingly dependent on chemical inputs. Industrial fertilizers may look clean and convenient, but honestly, they come at a high cost. Mined phosphorus that is running out, synthetic nitrogen that pollutes our waterways, and soils that, weaken over time. By rediscovering the wisdom of older practices and adapting them safely, we're really taking back control of our soil fertility. We reduce waste, save money, and grow food that is both abundant and sustainable. For home gardeners, this means no heavy fertilizer bags to lug around, no plastic packaging, and no reliance on expensive store-bought products, just a watering can, a little water, and nutrients that are already available to you. The story of this banned soil trick is more than just a history lesson. It's really a reminder that nature already has everything we need to grow abundantly. For thousands of years, farmers worked with cycles instead of breaking them, feeding the soil with what the body no longer needed, and in return, receiving harvests that sustained whole civilizations. Today, with modern knowledge and safe practices, we can adapt those principles in our own backyards. By combining compost with diluted urine, we create a system that feeds our plants today while building fertile soil for tomorrow. It's practical, sustainable, and honestly surprisingly simple. So the next time you step into your garden, remember this. The secret once banned for being too effective is still here, waiting to be rediscovered. And when you put it to work, you're not just growing food, you're reconnecting with a timeless cycle that has nourished generations. If this timeless gardening wisdom resonated with you, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with a fellow gardener who loves discovering new tricks, and subscribe to Timeless Crops Haven for more evergreen insights that blend old knowledge with modern science. The soil is alive, and with the right care it will keep feeding us, our families and generations yet to come.